Hey guys, got a quick news video for you because Star Trek Online has some new things showing up in Mud's Market. These actually went live yesterday on PC, but I was busy yesterday and got really hyper focused on another project that I've been really desperate to make some progress on, which I finally did. Yay. But yeah, I wanted to take some time to talk about this stuff coming to Mud's Market, which is now currently out now on PC and will be 50% off between yesterday and June 24th. So you got between now and then to get this stuff half off. And well, let's get into the bundle first before I go any further. It's the first thing is a new ship bundle going into Mud's Market. They're calling this the Mud's Call for Unity bundle. It will contain the Tal Shiar Kilne, the Tal Shiar adapted battlecruiser, old lockbox ship at this point, or no, actually that's Lobi, I think. But yeah, the Tal Shiar adapted battlecruiser, the Cheval temporal science vessel. That's this thing. This was the Vulcan ship that was seen from Star Trek Lower Decks, and the Praetor command warbird, which was one of the Romulan ships introduced in the season 1 finale of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And as usual with Mud ship bundles, you also have the options of getting a bunch of other stuff in there. You can also get the choice of 50 master keys, 2 tier 6X coupons, 6 elite captain training tokens, 9 experimental ship tokens, 10 ultimate tech upgrades, or cross-faction flying unlock, which that should not be as available as one single unlock for one of these. That's stupidly overpriced because you're basically paying $50 to get cross-faction flying if you're using that as one of your 3 choice packs. Just level up a KDF character to level 65, then you can get cross-faction flying for free. That's much better. Yeah, they really should just throw that in for free with these bundles. I don't know why they bothered to leave it in there, but it's a ripoff. Don't pick it up. And as for everything else in there, it's just, it's all fluff, whatever. If it's something you actually want out of them, it's up to you. But I would recommend it. Really, the main thing to go after here is the ships. So let's take a look at them. The Tal Shiar adapted battlecruiser is definitely the weakest of the 3 ships in the bundle. This is a very old ship. It was released into the Lobi store back in 2017. And even then, that was just the T6 version of the old Tier 5 version. So this is a very old ship. Doesn't have great seating. It doesn't have terrible seating, I would say. It does have unique seating, though. This is actually one of the few ships in Star Trek Online that has a commander-level universal seat. So you do get a decent amount of variety in the seating. It's still not that great. Like, the ship isn't even full spec. It only has a lieutenant commander temporal and a lieutenant level intel seat on it. It's also got a 4-4 weapons layout, which also not great. It has no buffs to weapons power. Everything goes to shields and auxiliary, so it's very leaning into the science stuff, which is a weird move for a battle cruiser. So yeah, it's not a great ship. It doesn't even have a battle cloak, despite being a Romulan ship. They gave this thing a standard cloaking device. It also doesn't use a singularity core. The Tal Shiar adapted ships, both of those use a standard matter antimatter warp core slot. Which, speaking of that, this ship also comes with a unique warp core. The enhanced indoctrinated. No, that's not it. Oh yeah, the enhanced indoctrination nanite dispersal system. That's the console, which not great, but it does have a 2-piece with the console off of the Tal Shiar adapted destroyer, the enhanced shrapnel torpedo launcher. That's also not great, but this also has a console set with the Tal Shiar adapted warp core. That's what I was going to talk about. But yeah, this thing also isn't very powerful. It doesn't have great buffs to anything in particular. And also, all of this stuff is restricted to the Tal Shiar adapted ships. So you're not going to be able to use this on any other ships. You are restricted to the either using it on the Kilne, which is the battlecruiser, or the adapted destroyer, which isn't available in this Muds bundle. That is actually available through the 14th anniversary bundle. Yeah, 14th anniversary bundle, which, God, what a stupid choice for that bundle. It should have been the Parliament. I still stand by that. The other 2 ships as playable ships are actually pretty decent. The Cheval temporal science spearhead, solid science vessel. It's got a lieutenant commander command seat, so you can go pretty heavy with the side torp stuff. And it's a spearhead, so it has a 4-3 weapons layout, so you can really go pretty all in with the side torp stuff. It's also got the +10 to auxiliary, exactly where you want that power levels. I would rather see that other +10 in engines than shield power, but what can you do? Solid ship. I've always liked this thing. I always felt this thing was kind of undersung in comparison to what it is, but I guess, science ships aren't super power aren't sorry, science ships can be very powerful, and this one can be very powerful too. It's just that science ships just aren't super popular among a large part of the fan base, just because they're so expensive to set up, and plus, on top of the fact that this is also a lockbox ship, so it ends up being a very expensive ship to put together. But if you do like EPG builds, in particular Side-Torp builds, this solid pickup here. The console and trait aren't really worth anything super special unless you really like shield tanking stuff. The trait is capable of giving some pretty impressive buffs to crit chance for your weapons and crit severity, but it only lasts like 4 seconds, and it is tied to maintaining your shields up, so it's not a super great trait. This is a really niche starship trait that's not going to offer you as much as some of the more popular meta starship traits. And the console, again, it's just a bunch of shield regen. If you really like shield tanking, if that's something you really want to lead into, this is probably a console worth picking up. The Praetor as a playable ship is pretty solid. It's a full command ship with a secondary Miracle Worker seat, which not ideal, but it'll help your energy weapons a little bit. But you can set this up as a decent energy weapon build by throwing some debuff stuff on it, like suppression barrage with the command stuff, or you can run a full torpedo build on this thing because it's a full command ship with a 5-3 weapons layout. But the big downside to this ship is that while it does have a solid setup, there's another ship very similar to it. So if you have the 11th anniversary bundle, which means you have the legendary Vorcha, you already have a ship remarkably close to this. And I mean like almost identical. Same bridge officer seating, same weapons layout. I think the only differences are some of the power bonuses and the fact that this has a singularity warp core instead of a standard warp core. Oh, and this has a Romulan battle cloak too. But yeah, solid ship. It's just really close to another solid ship that you can get as an account unlock. Though of course this is now going into a MUDs bundle, which means this will also be available as an account unlock. So it's up to you. Do you want the MUDs bundle or do you want the 11th anniversary bundle? Of course, that's assuming you want either. The starship trait is meh on this thing, and the console on it, the spinal mount plasma torpedo is. The weird thing about it is that it's like that old school Romulan plasma torpedo that builds up into a giant ball of plasma and then gradually dissipates as it gets closer to your target. I don't think they incorporated that mechanic into this version. But yeah, the weird thing with this one is that it has a weirdly long charge up time, so it takes like 3 seconds for it to actually get to your freaking target, and space combat is just too quick these days for that to matter. So it's just it suffers from that charge up time significantly. So really you're only going to be after this for some sort of theme build. So yeah, the calls for Unity bundle, it's not terrible, I would say, mainly because of the Cheval and the Praetor here. If you're after those ships, these might be worth it to you, but honestly I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of demand for this bundle, especially because we're dealing with 3 non-Federation ships. We all know at this point in the game, it's the majority of the fan base is much more focused on Federation ships than non-Federation ships, which is a shame. I know there are going to be some people complaining about that in the comments. What do you want me to do about it? I can't influence every single player in the game, no matter how much I try. Now, that was just for PC. Console players, you've got some other stuff coming into MUDs Market as of yesterday, which will be 75% off until June 17th. You guys are getting the Tamarian Deep Space Cruiser, which was the, what was it, the summer event ship? No, this was the winter event ship from a couple years ago. Solid tank vessel. I like this ship. I've always liked the look of this ship. It's neat looking. It has a decent tanking trait on it. Decent stats on it. This is, if you missed out on this ship, I wouldn't say it's a must-have, but if you like the look of this ship, don't be afraid to go after it. It's a solid pickup. The other stuff too that's coming in there is there's a couple gear sets going into MUDs Market over on console. You're getting the Protostar set that released a couple years ago, which consists of, here it is. This consists of the Protostar multiplicative, yeah, I can read. The Protostar multiplicative covariant shield, which is an okay shield. It's got a neat animation, which I feel like more of you are going to be interested in than anything else. It's got the Protostar omniphaser, which is okay. Honestly, I'd rather go with the Pavo or the Pavo Proton Omni than anything else, but Omni restrictions mean you can't use both because Omni Beam restrictions are dumb. And then there's the Protostar Dual Warp Core / Dual Singularity Core, which again aren't, none of these are particularly impressive on their own, but you pair them all together and you get to use this ability, which you basically throw a warp core at your enemy, which again, not that powerful, but I mean, Look at that. How funny is that? I mean, plenty of people use this set just for the sake of being able to use this ability, just because it's funny, and that's about all you want out of a build sometimes. You just want something that'll be amusing. And the last thing coming to Muds Market on console is the old Adaptation ground set, which includes the Infinity Modulator, aka the iMod from Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. This is part of a set. It includes the weapon, a shield, and the Universal Kit Module Adaptation Vinculum. It's a decent set, especially if you're fighting the Borg. It's not amazing. Honestly, I always felt it was kind of dumb that they allowed the iMod to be adapted to like any other energy weapon. It does take longer than your typical energy weapon does, but it's, I don't know, it really took away from the what this weapon should have been, in my opinion. Plus it's also a single target weapon. I hate single target stuff. So it's a fun nostalgia trip for those of you who remember Star Trek Elite Force. It's great game. It's on GOG. If you don't have it, definitely recommend both the first one and the second one. But yeah, decent ground set, have some fun nostalgia to go with it. So if you are interested in any of these items, like I said, these are 75% off in the Muds Market on console. It is currently 75% off starting from yesterday all the way to June 17th. So you got a week. So yeah, that is everything. Like I said, just some new stuff in Muds Market on both PC and console. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. And also I really needed to record something because it's been like a week. So it's been busy, and I have been riddled with just total lack of motivation. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. But yeah, I wanted to let you guys know about these bundles. If you're interested, go get them. If you're not, then don't worry about it. But yeah, hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, do the usual outro stuff. Check out the merch store, affiliate links. If you're ever shopping on the Epic Game Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. Any of these things really help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Either way, though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.